When someone gets inducted into the Mayo Clinic Hall of Fame, it's a safe bet they've done something of major significance in the field of medicine and healthcare. What Jeb Hallett has done in his distinguished career is no less than change the face of vascular surgery.
I got interested in vascular surgery when I was an intern in surgery. I liked the disease processes. Because I had a background in mechanical engineering and flow dynamics, it just made a lot of sense.
His research has led to new standards in vascular surgery. He built world-class vascular surgery programs at several major medical centers, launched outreach programs to treat underserved populations, and established training programs for medical students, residents, and fellows. During his 20 years at the Mayo Clinic, Hallett won Teacher of the Year honors so many times he was inducted into the institution's Hall of Fame.
So I always tried to make every patient encounter, every operation, an opportunity to teach something, let the student ask questions.
Perhaps Hallett's most important contribution to the field of vascular surgery was, at the time in 1989, extremely controversial. He and his colleagues at the Mayo Clinic performed a study that was published in the New England Journal of Medicine that challenged the current practice of surgically repairing even small abdominal aortic aneurysms.
And what we found over a period of time is most of the small aneurysms did not rupture. The ones that were over 5 centimeters were the ones at risk.
That did not sit well with surgeons who were repairing a lot of small aneurysms.
The leading aortic surgeon in the United States, Dr. Stanley Crawford, who was actually a mentor and friend of mine, took me aside at a meeting and said, "Why did you do this?" And he said, "You know, this is going to damage your career."
After about 10 years of getting the stink eye from colleagues at surgical conferences, other studies verified Hallett's findings, and today it is standard practice to monitor, but not necessarily repair, aneurysms smaller than 5 centimeters. Hallett said Duke University stood out for his top choice for medical school because...
One word, curriculum. And what I really liked about Duke was the concept that you would do an intense year of basic science followed by a clinical orientation. And then the last 2 years you could really design around your interests.
For his third-year project, Hallett worked in the Department of Pathology with Drs. Jim Wilson and Don Hackle.
And that was a very important year for me in terms of learning to ask good questions, learning to design a study, learning to carry it out. And my first 2 papers that I published came out of that third-year experience.
One of these papers discussed the novel idea of transfusing blood into arteries instead of into veins.
It's because we showed if you put it on the arterial side, you got the animal out of shock faster.
Hallett spent nearly 15 years in the U.S. Air Force, finishing his training there and at Harvard, before going back to the Air Force, where he was Chief of Vascular Surgery at Wilford Hall.
And that led to my being recruited to the Mayo Clinic when I finished.
He founded Mayo's Vascular Center in 1989, and later established the programs in Maine and Charleston. He retired from practice this year, and currently serves as vascular surgery consultant to both Roper St. Francis Healthcare and Medical University of South Carolina. Hallett and his wife, Linda Austin, a Duke undergrad alumna, have 3 children in their blended family and 5 grandchildren. The couple is passionate about art and are active in the Gibbs Museum of Art in Charleston. They also enjoy the outdoors and spend a lot of time in Maine in the summers.
Love to cycle, love to sail.
In praising his Duke medical education, Hallett points out 2 major factors that helped to mold him into the successful surgeon he became.
I cannot overemphasize the importance of the house staff at Duke and what they brought to us as medical students.
And he is especially grateful to Randy Bollinger, who was a junior resident at the time and went on to become Chief of Transplantation at Duke.
And I really felt when I left Duke that I had all of the skills and the determination to make a difference as I went forward in my career.